If you're an avid watcher of anime, then there's a good chance you love fight scenes. Fighting has always been a major draw in animation. And if you're a beginner animator, there's a good chance you want to take your animation to the next level by elevating your fight scenes. Today's video is part 3 on how to animate fight scenes using Flipaclip, and you can watch the other parts on my YouTube channel. However, if you're a beginner animator using other animation softwares, you may still find this video useful to you. Now, I want to begin this animation by adding extra frames of animation to show the guy on the left land a kick on the guy on the right. Adding these new frames is not the point of making this tutorial video, but in order to show you how to elevate your fight scene, I need to have a fight scene where the attack actually lands. Whenever your fighting looks weird, or certain actions look unrealistic, like in this case, the guy going for the kick after blocking the first kick looks unnaturally fast, it's advisable for you to go back and add your in-between frames to make sure the timing fits correctly. Now that the timing and the movement of the attack looks better, let's get into the major reason for this tutorial video on how to elevate your fight scenes. And that's by using close-up shots. As human beings, we crave excitement, we crave something new. And what is much more boring or less exciting than seeing the same thing done over and over again? This is the reason why when you're animating your fight scenes, you want to try out different camera angles. And one easy way to change your fight scenes from looking very boring is to zoom in and zoom out of your animation, or focus on the area of the impact. In this animation sequence, the area of impact is the head because that's where the kick lands. Now, whenever you're experimenting with different angles of your animation, be careful not to break the flow of movement. I'll be adding this close-up shot next to the frame that shows the moment, the exact moment before the kick lands. Adding close-up shots like this helps to guide the viewer to notice something that they otherwise might have missed. Imagine a fight scene where the opponents are throwing very fast kicks. Let's say they landed 7 kicks within 2 seconds, and you want them to notice a particular kick, maybe the 4th kick. Adding a close-up shot like this will make the viewer actually pay more attention to such a kick. And the reason for that is that using close-up shots gives emphasis on that particular action. Also, you don't want to draw out your close-up shots for too long. As I've said earlier, doing the same thing over and over again might make your fight scene very boring. So you want your close-up shots to be short and concise. You also don't want it to be too fast so that the viewer does not miss it. Now that we have a satisfactory close-up shot of the kick, adding a shaky camera movement will sell the effect of the kick landing on the face. You can achieve a shaky camera effect on Flipaclip by duplicating the frame of impact and then taking the new frame, selecting it and shifting it whether a little bit to the left or slightly to the right. You can also sell the impact of an attack by adding particle effects, wind effects, and even impact frames. This is going to help you attenuate the effect or the impact of the attack that has been landed, turning an ordinary punch or an ordinary kick into something marvelous to see. I mentioned impact frames earlier. And what other way is there to show impact than to use impact frames? When it comes to understanding impact frames, you need to understand contrast. Impact frames serve to draw as much contrast as possible, and the two colors that draws the most contrast is white and black. There are different ways to tackle impact frames, but the easy guide to understanding how to do it is to draw contrast between your characters and your background. So if you want to start as a beginner in making impact frames, enable your onion skin and follow the direction of the impact. In this case, it's the kick landing to the head, and let your lines radiate outwards from the position of the impact. Then you make your character black when your background is white, or your background black when your character is white. Whenever you're animating at 12 frames per second, it is advisable to have at least 2 impact frames. If you are working with higher frame rates, it is advisable to have at least 4 to 5 impact frames. And the simple way to make sure that your impact frames are not exactly the same is just to switch the contrast between the characters and the background. There's an advanced way of also applying impact frames, and that's like having an in-between, where both your character and your background are a particular shade, or they are both white or they are both black, and then the point that shows light, like lighting up that position of impact, is the part that actually contrasts with the background. So in that case, you have a black background and then you have a white highlight on your character to show the impact. If you're done adding these various effects, that is the close-up shots, the impact frames, the particle effect, and the wind effect, the last thing you need to add, just like I said in the previous tutorial video, is shaky camera to also attenuate the effect of the punch or the attack landing. Once you're satisfied with what your fight scene looks like, the next thing you need to work on is what your fight scene sounds like. Now, I'd love to explain it, but I'm not an expert when it comes to sound design. But if you still wish to learn that from me, let me know in the comment section. Thank you for watching it this far, and God bless you. Have a nice day. Oh, I forgot to add this. You should add blocks to your impact frame to actually make it look good. Bye.